Everybody got sleep? No. Oh, hungry, are you? Yeah, me too. Honorable delegates, distinguished guests, all staff of family, and ladies and gentlemen. Namaste again. I am Chhitup Lama. I am the founding executive director of Himalayan Education and Development HEAD Nepal. I'm the head of the head. I'm the head of the head. Thank you for the applause, but the story was not easy. It has not always been easy. When I was 10 years old, just starting knowing about the world around, one evening, one day, there was a huge rituals going on in my community. By default, I am Buddhist. By default. And I wanted to join that rituals, but my grandmom said, you can't go there. With that tender age, lots of questions raised in my mind. I felt really bad. I couldn't join the rituals. It didn't stop over there, it continues. I asked lots of questions to her, but she said, you can't go there because you are cursed. After a few years, one of my friends asked me to join him to help to cross the goats and sheep brought from China across the river, because there was a suspension bridge and the goats were not able to cross through that. And we need to push and just force them to cross. And by doing 250 goats, right from the morning, it took about 4 or 5 hours, and already afternoon. And we were about 2 hours far from my house community. So I said, I'm too hungry, and he also said, I'm too, as now. And he said, let's go to the nearby community. We were invited, but I was expecting to go into the house. But the family asked us to stay outside. I was thinking that it's quite warm, hot, and it's good to be out because the house is too cozy, it's small, and because of smoke, it can be hot inside. And at the time when we eat, they will call us in. But ultimately, the food were served out. I was surprised. I was about 13, 14 years because I belong to indigenous community, lower caste, and that was Kshatriya community. The story did not stop over there. When I was doing my grade 10, I was preparing for my SLC that time in district headquarters, Simikot. I was able to travel from my home village to the capital of the district. Then some people, new people there, learned about my visual impairment. A smart guy, very smart, visited India, Kathmandu, came to me. Oh, man, can you come to me this evening? I went to him. He said, I learned you can't see, but I can make you see. Then I said, how? Yes, please do that. And he provided me lots of books and cassettes, reels. And he said, listen to these books and listen to these stories and read these books. Poor guy, he wanted to make me sing, but he was asking already me to read those books, which I was not able to do. And he said, okay, when you become a Christianity, you will see, you can see the world. And then I was surprised. Few days I did that, but nothing changed. Nothing changed. So, then what next? Ultimately, after SLC, I was forced to live at my community doing nothing. I was seeking for all these solutions. Why are these things happening to me? I know I'm a human. I don't see any difference, but everybody around me treating me differently. That's why this is the ground reality of our country. We know this whole is diverse and very inclusive, but I was talking to my colleague next to the seat just ago, but when we are talking about equality, non-discrimination, everything, we just always think in high level, but the community who are in need, who are discriminated, who are victimized, remain always the same. Then after a while, when I was educated, I earned my master's degree from Chhitup University. I went back to my home community, started this HEAD Nepal, and became the head of the HEAD. And I asked to appeal to the international communities, including UN, UNDP, and lots of INGOs, even the government of Nepal. And they don't have solutions. Some say we don't do nothing in it. And many organizations, bilateral, even United Nations, they say we can't do it in Humla because we have security concern. We cannot fly to that 18-seated aircraft and we cannot drive in that off-route. So what shall we expect in the ground? Nothing. Thank you very much. Because the rest will be shared by my colleague. Thank you. You know, just raised lots of questions against her. She is from Humla, geographically remote, and she belongs to ethnic minority, Lama, Tamang, there. And she was educated in India because of her education and Delhi University, and she was tagged like she was Tibetan refugee. And when she just lived in that border area, she was tagged like a refugee. But ultimately, she was compelled to post her citizenship on social media. So ultimately, again, she missed that opportunity to become a ministry of women, children, and senior citizens. So if you just look back to the social media post, even in the medias, you can see that case. So if that was someone from the majority, so there won't be that much of questions. So that's the one thing. So my dear inspiring Uttam Neurology, he raised the question of using FoRB in our context. Yeah, it is very big challenging we faced, and it is life experience. But what I believe is we need to have solutions, and that's why what we now started doing is we started using FoRB and freedom of religion or belief, because ultimately what we as an organization head learn is we need to be ethical, and this is secured by our constitution, Article 26. That's why recently we are doing a research on FoRB in Humla together with SAFO, with this small grant, and we visited Social Welfare Council, and ultimately we got the approval, not writing advanced human rights, but all writing the FoRB itself. So what I believe is, since we have the legal ground, we need to be, we need to be constant. Of course, there are lots of practical problems, but we need to face and we need to work strategically so we get the right thing done, so we can be accountable to the community as well as to our donors and partners. Thank you very much.